Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com, and this is your...
You came back for us.
Photo News Fix. This fix is brought to you once again by Squarespace, my go-to when I want to quickly and easily build a website, buy a domain, and launch it in a matter of minutes.
Mount Alliance.
Now, I use Squarespace for my personal website at jaredpolin.com because you should go check it out. You should check it out later. Not only is it simple, easy, and affordable to use, but if you're looking to sell your work online, like I've done, Squarespace has online stores, offers you Squarespace payments so you can accept Apple Pay and more. And a few months ago, remember when I said that it was going to be super easy to update my website with all of my Japan photos? Well, guess what? It took me a matter of minutes to get the new gallery up and out into the world for people to see and enjoy, and I didn't need to use any coding thanks to Squarespace. To get your 14-day free trial, head on over to squarespace.com/FroKnowsPhoto. If you decide that it's for you, use the code FroKnowsPhoto at checkout to get 10% off your first order. This is the best time of year to sit down and finally build your personal website. First up, one of the greatest rock and roll photographers of all time is getting a street named after him on the block that he lived for 16 years in San Francisco. Now I'm talking about Jim Marshall, who took iconic photos like this, and this, and sadly passed away in 2010. Now, I was lucky enough to befriend him in 2007 when the tour I was on stopped in San Francisco. We exchanged business cards. Yeah, business cards. Yeah, we actually used business cards then. And every time that he came to the East Coast, he would give me a ring and ask me to meet him at a bar. Now, his drink of choice was scotch, and his favorite phrase was f***ing.
Bad language makes for bad feelings.
Now, his camera of choice were Leicas, and his stories were f***ing legendary. Jim personified rock and f***ing roll.
I've always liked cars, guns, and cameras.
Was his moniker. He was there documenting the biggest names from the late 50s to the death of rock and roll at the end of the 70s. Yeah, it died around that time.
99% of what passes for rock and roll these days, silence is more compelling.
Now, do yourself a favor, check out his website at jimmarshallphotographyllc.com, but also be sure to watch his documentary called Show Me the Picture. Now, if Jim were here today to be told that his name was going to be on a street, he'd probably say a better name would be Asshole Way or f***ing Street. Next up, do you know how I always tell you not to install new camera firmware as soon as it's released?
No.
Yeah, and that you should probably wait a good 2 to 3 weeks?
What are you talking about?
Well, this is why. Sony has suspended their 6.0 firmware update for the A7 IV after people reported some major issues. Now here's Sony's quote. "We confirm that some A7 IV cameras may not operate properly after installing the version 6.0 update. We have suspended the update while we investigate the cause. If the issue, unstable operation such as repeated reboots, occurs immediately after installing the update, please contact our support center, AKA you're f***ed. Phone call? I wonder who that could be. Hello? Oh, it's the Sony Repair Center? You can confirm that you're f***ed. Okay, thanks. Well, that sucks now, doesn't it? Well, this is why I never update my firmware right away. Can you imagine you had a shoot coming up and you're thinking you're doing the right thing by updating your camera to the latest firmware and bam, your camera's bricked and you gotta call support, which means you're not gonna have a camera.
Photographic memory.
When will these companies learn to do more thorough testing before they release firmwares? Now, how long do you wait to update your firmware? Let me know down below. And finally, in the biggest news this week, Sony has officially announced the A7 V. Now, before I get too far, we do have out our full hands-on preview where I use this camera for 2 full weeks.
2 weeks.
Out on safari in Kenya, and it is linked down below for you to watch after Photo News Fix. But for now, let's give you the Cliff Notes.
Cliff?
The A7 V sports an all-new 33 megapixel And by sparsely, I mean partially stacked sensor that's capable of capturing 30 frames per second with the electronic shutter with 14-bit RAW files, and the mechanical shutter will net you 10 frames per second. Now for those third-party lens users, you will top out at 15 frames per second as usual, and in terms of readout speed, you're looking at roughly 12 milliseconds, which is 4.5 times faster than the A7 IV's 67 millisecond readout speed. 67. 69.
Nice.
On top of that, you now have pre-capture capability for up to 1 full second of pre-capture shooting. In terms of the body, it's pretty much the A7R5's, but now has a full HDMI port, and get this, has 2 USB-C ports. One can be used to charge the camera while the other passes through the data, which is kind of perfect for my OnlyFans account, because you know I could be charging and live streaming at the same time. One of the biggest changes to this camera is the addition of an all-new Bionz processor that not only handles the processing of the images, but also incorporates the AI processor for autofocus onto the same chip. It's one unified chip, not two like in the A9 III and the A1. So how is the autofocus? In one word, fantastic.
Spectacular.
It is 8 billion times better than the A7 IV's and honestly feels extremely close to that of the A9 III and A1 II. Now, it found birds' eyes at an extreme distance, it tracked birds in flight really well, found people's faces and eyes easily, and all around allowed me to focus on composing and exposing, knowing that the AF would more than likely not miss, like the A7 IV kind of missed at times, but still gave you nice quality, just that autofocus sucked in that camera. Now on to the video specs. You can shoot UHD 4K up to 60p, and unlike in the past, that is full frame without a crop. 4K 60 is now oversampled from 7K without any binning in 10-bit 422 XAVCS intra recording. You finally have 4K 120 with a Super 35 crop, as well as 240 frames per second in 1080p. Now for those who are hoping for open gate, you can only wish for Heaven's Gate. Don't do Heaven's Gate. Don't do what they did. But you can keep hoping, because it doesn't have it, like the R6 Mark III from Canon.
Well, wish in one hand, the other one, see which one fills up first.
But honestly, very few people really care or need open gate recording. In my opinion, it's just the latest fad term that people are using. So how much does it cost? Well, it comes in at $28.99 for the body only, which is only $100 more than Canon's R6 Mark III. At the end of the day, Sony did a great job with this update. In my opinion, they needed a big update over the A7 IV, and they did absolutely deliver. Now, I could keep going on and on and on and on. But that's what the full hands-on real-world preview is for, so please give that a watch. It's gonna be up here on the screen somewhere for you to go ahead and click it, so you can go right to that and not get a ticket. So go ahead and click it right there. And there you have it. That's your photo news fix this time around. Thank you very much for watching. Jared, PolinPhotoPhoto.com. See ya.